Empowering True Crime Alex here, and the verdict in the Lori Vallow case is about to start. I'm following Nate Eaton from the East Idaho News, and they are streaming it. So they seem to always be a few minutes late. All right, so just a quick recap. Lori Vallow has been accused and charged with the murder of her son JJ, murder of her son of her daughter Taylor, the conspiracy to kill her husband's ex-wife Tammy Daybell, and grand theft, and just conspiracy overall for all of the murders. So conspiracy with her husband Chad Daybell. And so 3 people that we know of have died in or are part of the charges. Now, on top of that, her ex-husband Charles was also killed by her brother. Her brother actually died as well, but that was from natural causes. So just really just an awful, and she's dubbed the Doomsday Cult mom because of her ideations that her children, her daughter was evil, was a zombie, all of these things. So yeah, the defense, they had closing arguments yesterday. The jury began deliberating at the end of the afternoon. I think it was like 2:15. They deliberated into the early evening, went home, and then started deliberating again this morning at 9 that time, Idaho time. And just a few hours later, they came up with a verdict. So, I mean, overall, pretty quick as far as big cases like this go. So will be very interesting to see what happens, and let me know what you think. And if you don't know me, I am Empowering True Crime. We cover true crime from a more victim focus, more empathetic. We don't like drama. We really want to be an empowering voice to give voice to the voiceless, to help and support survivors of DV, SA, missing persons. And yeah, and so I just want to be a more information and advocacy and education based channel. So if you like that style, then I'd appreciate if you subscribe. I'm really close to 1,000 subscribers, pretty new growing channel. So really appreciate your support. And again, if you like this video, if you learned something today, I'd appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up, and of course, subscribe to my channel. Okay, so while we're waiting here, let's see if we can go back to Nate Eaton. He has been covering, says here, waiting for Lori Vallow Daybell to walk into the courtroom. Jurors and judge are not here yet. Okay, so yeah, so we're waiting a little bit. And yeah, I guess it just takes a little bit longer. Now, in this case, they told us that they were going to give a 1-hour heads up for when there is a verdict, because they were going to allow a video or photos and video in the courtroom, which they have not allowed in the entirety of the case. It says here, courtroom doors have been locked. Bailiff gives instructions to remove hats and sunglasses. He tells everyone to silence their phones. Nate Eaton has really been giving amazing play-by-play. It says here, thank you for the play-by-plays. Yeah, I encourage you to follow him. He actually is in one of the pivotal videos that comes out where they were where she and Chad Daybell are walking by, and he's asking them where the kids are. That's him. So he's one of like the really pivotal people who's been there since day one. And I love something he said down here. This is really good. 6 weeks, 60 witnesses, hundreds of pieces of information, thousands of man hours, dozens of exhibits, phone calls, recordings, videos, blood, sweat, tears. We are here. So I thought that was great. And then also Kay and Larry Woodcock, which is JJ's grandparents, will be holding a news conference after the verdict is read on the courthouse steps. We will carry it live. Okay, so we're still waiting here. Have you been watching this from day one? I actually wasn't really into this case until very recently. So I have not been as invested as some people in this case, but if you have, let me know what your biggest surprise was, what your biggest aha was. What did you think would happen, or what did you think what were you surprised about? Let's refresh again. He's so awesome. Crowds are gathering outside the courthouse. Photo from hindsight 2020. So Lori Vallow has not walked into the courtroom yet. Jurors and judge are not here yet either. Let's also look at Brian Enton and see what he's got to say. He's just been kind of giving some really high level feedback or play-by-play. Verdicts reached. Time 12:45 Mountain Time. It's really been Nate has been giving a lot of that play-by-play. Just unbelievable. The alternate jurors just walked in and are sitting on the opposite side of the courtroom across from the jury box. So this is a reminder that Lori Daybell Vallow Daybell is facing the following charges: conspiracy to commit first-degree murder on Tylee Ryan, first-degree murder on Tylee Ryan, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder on JJ Vallow, first-degree murder on JJ Vallow, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder on Tammy Daybell, and grand theft. All right, so let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? I would love to hear them. Oh, I hear sound. So Larry Vallow has just walked in. I love this. It's got view of prosecutor, view of judge, and view of defense. I've never seen 3 that I can think of. I'm also refreshing tweets from Nate Eaton. So seeing if he said, Lori is chatting with her attorney. She is smiling during the conversation. Legs are crossed. He's so much detail. He even said, she's dressed in a black top, black suit jacket, dark pants, and black boots. He's got some detail.
All rise. District Court's now in session. Honorable Stephen Boyce, Judge presiding.
Thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. We are going on the record. Court reporter, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, thank you. This is case CR 22-21-1624, State of Idaho versus Noreen Vallow. The matter before the court today is for a verdict in the jury trial that's been conducted over the last several weeks in this case. The court will note on the record, prosecution is here represented by Mr. Wood, Ms. Blake, and Ms. Smith. The defense, Mr. Archibald, Mr. Thomas are present, as well as the defendant who is present. The court's been advised that the jury has reached a verdict at this time. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Let's have the jurors brought in, please. While the jurors are being brought in, I'd like to indicate that this matter is being live streamed on the court's YouTube channel. In addition, the court's existing conduct order is in effect, and everyone needs to comply with that conduct order. This verdict has several counts. The court is going to require that all in attendance abstain from any sort of loud outbursts or sounds that could in any way affect the proceedings in this matter as the counts are read in the verdict. And I expect to maintain order and decorum as has been the case throughout this trial with those in attendance. So please keep that in mind once we get to this stage of these proceedings. So with that in mind, if the jurors are ready, they can be seated.
All right, please. Here's all in the back corner.
All right, thank you, Mr. Bailiff. Please be seated. All right, the court will note that we had alternate jurors that were excused upon deliberations. So now the remaining 12 jurors who have deliberated are here and appear to all be properly seated. Will counsel stipulate that the jury is all present and properly seated in the state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Will the defense stipulate?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, at this time, the court will inquire then from the jury, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yeah.
Very well. If you have the verdict form, I'd ask the bailiff bring that over here and we'll have it brought to the clerk to be read. All right, the court has reviewed the verdict form, find that it's been properly completed, signed and dated. So at this time, I'll direct the clerk to please read the verdict into the record. The defendant would please rise.
In the District Court of the 7th Judicial District of the State of Idaho, in and for the County of Fremont, State of Idaho plaintiff versus Lori Noreen Vallow, aka Lori Noreen Daybell, defendant, case number CR 22-211624. Verdict. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn to try the above entitled action for our verdict, unanimously answer the questions submitted to us as follows. Question number 1. In regards to count one of the amended indictment, is Lori Noreen Vallow not guilty or guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of Kylie Ryan and grand theft by deception? Answer, guilty. Question number 2. In regards to count 2 of the amended indictment, is Lori Noreen Vallow not guilty or guilty of first-degree murder of Kylie Ryan? Answer, guilty. Question number 3. In regards to count 3 of the amended indictment, is Lori Noreen Vallow not guilty or guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of Joshua Jackson Vallow and grand theft by deception? Answer, guilty. Question number 4. In regards to count 4, the amended indictment, is Lori Noreen Vallow not guilty or guilty of first-degree murder of Joshua Jackson Vallow? Answer, guilty. Question number 5. In regards to count 5 of the amended indictment, is Lori Noreen Vallow not guilty or guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder of Tammy Daybell? Answer, guilty. Question number 6. In regards to count 7 of the amended indictment, is Lori Noreen Vallow not guilty or guilty of grand theft? Answer, guilty. Dated this 12th day of May, 2023, signed by the presiding officer.
All right, please be seated. Madam Clerk, thank you for reading the verdict into the record. At this time, let me just inquire of the jury, is this in fact your true and correct verdict?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Let me ask now from counsel, does the state wish to have the jury polled?
We do not, Your Honor.
Does the defense wish to have the jury polled?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, the jury will be polled at this time. Madam Clerk, if you would please indicate only by juror numbers of each of the jurors if this is their true and correct verdict individually.
Juror number 4, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 5, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 6, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 8, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 9, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 10, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 11, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 12, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 13, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror number 14, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 15, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 16, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The court does find it's a unanimous verdict in this case, so I will direct the clerk to record the verdict into the record of this case. I'll now have a closing jury instruction for our jurors and also those alternate jurors that are in attendance today. You have now completed your duties as jurors in this case and are discharged with the sincere thanks of this court. The question may arise as to whether you may discuss this case with the attorneys or with anyone else. For your guidance, the court instructs you that whether you talk to the attorneys or to anyone else is entirely your own decision. It is proper for you if you want to, but you are not required to do so, and you may choose not to discuss the case with anyone at all. If you choose to talk to someone about the case, you may tell them as much or little as you like about your deliberations or the facts that influenced your decision. If you decide to discuss the case with anyone, you should be careful to respect the privacy and feelings of your fellow jurors. You should limit your comments to your own perceptions and feelings. If anyone persists in discussing the case over your objections or becomes critical of your service either before or after any discussion has begun, please report that to me. This time, then, the court offers its sincere thanks to the jurors. I appreciate your patience and attentiveness throughout this lengthy trial. I also thank you again for upholding your important civic duty as jurors in this case. I'd also like to thank the attorneys who tried this case for your professionalism throughout the proceedings and in the pretrial motions that came before trial. At this time, then, the court will discuss briefly sentencing in this case. In Idaho, pursuant to Title 19, Chapter 25, a report is required to be prepared before sentencing called a pre-sentence investigation report. In a typical case, that report takes at least 2 months to prepare. In a case such as this, it will likely take longer. The court will inquire as to a pre-sentence investigator for the time frame required to prepare the report in this case. On getting an estimation, then the court will reach out to counsel for determining a date for sentencing. I'll just advise everyone that will likely be, I'm thinking, at least 3 months probably before that sentencing can be scheduled to have the report completed. The court will also advise at this time then, upon conclusion of the proceedings, the defendant will be remanded back to custody of the Ada County Sheriff at this time to be transferred to the Fremont County Sheriff for further proceedings in Fremont County for sentencing. The court will also instruct the clerk to collect any of the jurors' notes pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 24.1A. At this time, then, the court will ask that the jurors and any alternates in attendance be excused from the courtroom. And I am going to direct that all in attendance here remain seated until such time as the jurors have been completely exited from the courtroom. And in addition, I'll let the jurors know there is additional information you'll be receiving through the court administration offices on your way out as you leave today. So again, thank you for your service. Court will be adjourned. And Mr. Bailiff, if you could have all rise for the jury.
All rise, please.
Thank you, counsel. Thank you, everyone, for your decorum this afternoon. Court is adjourned.
Wow.
Would you like
Okay.
to open the first one?
Okay, so couple things. So just to recap, this was this is also done from Nate. He says, so the first conspiracy to commit first degree murder of Tylee Ryan, guilty. First degree murder of Tylee Ryan, guilty. That is Lori's daughter. Conspiracy to commit first degree murder, J.J. Vallow, guilty. First degree murder, J.J. Vallow, guilty. That is her son. Conspiracy to commit first degree murder of Tammy Daybell, guilty. That is her husband, Chad Daybell's ex-wife, who died, and they were getting married 2 weeks later, which is very interesting. And then grand theft, guilty. So those were the 6 charges. And so this was a very interesting thing. I had no idea. And he says it really well here, that a pre-sentence report needs to be completed before he sentences Lori. He believes it'll be about 3 months. He actually said that it takes sometimes about 2 months, but for a trial like this, it would take 3 months. So she's not going to get sentenced for probably somewhere between 2 and 3 months, which is crazy. I didn't know that was the case there. So when the Idaho 4, the Brian Koberger case happens, if he gets convicted, then that will probably be a process there as well, that he might not get sentenced for a few months. Very, very interesting. Okay, so let's see. East Idaho News. Let's see what he's got to say. What do you think? I mean, I thought it was probably pretty predictable that was going to happen. You know, the defense did not. They rested. They didn't have any witnesses. She didn't testify. You know, so I thought that was really, really interesting that they didn't call any of their own witnesses. And obviously, it is a tactic strategy to not have your the defendant testify. nothing unusual there necessarily. So, but not having any other witnesses, that's a strategy too, but backfired, I think, in this case. So, all right. Well, you know what? For now, we'll go ahead and end today's stream. I appreciate you all. If you learn, so let me just recap. Lori Vallow was found guilty of 6 charges. Guilty of conspiracy to kill Tylee, murder of Tylee, conspiracy to kill JJ, murder of JJ, conspiracy to kill Tammy Daybell, and grand theft. Guilty on all counts. Unanimous vote from the jury, and sentencing will happen in approximately 3 months. So that will be another day. So let me know your thoughts. Was this not a surprise after 6 weeks that this was going to happen? Let me know your thoughts. If you learned something today, if you enjoyed this video, my coverage of this case, I'd appreciate if you hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'm growing my channel, getting to 1,000 subscribers very soon. So I would love for you to be part of the empowering community, and so that we can be the empowering voices for the voiceless. And with that, stay safe, stay thriving, and have an empowering week. Bye for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notifications. Thank you.